everyone, and welcome to Checkpoint. Yeah, I'm really excited to be on your face again. It's your host, Dr. Ifeoma Eze, and I'm here on Checkpoint today. How was your day? Hope great. All right, I'd like to start by saying thank you, and thank you again to everyone who helps us here at Checkpoint. I want to start by saying thank you for your likes, your comments, your shares, and for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Now, because of all that you do, our message is reaching a wider audience, and for this, I am indeed very, very grateful. Now, you know how we roll here at Checkpoint. It's time. Begin to invite your friends, your relations, your associates, your neighbors. Tell them we are on right here at Checkpoint, and I can't wait to share with you the wonderful topic that I have for you today. It's a topic you will love, so don't miss it for anything. Begin to invite your friends, share the link, and share the link. Simple way to share the link. Just click on this video and then click on share to your WhatsApp group, share to your Facebook, share to all your social media platforms, and I promise you, you'll be glad you did. So I'm waiting for you. What are you waiting for? Go ahead and share, and I'll be right after. I'll be right back after the break to tell you what topic we have today. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back. Now, today on Checkpoint, I'll be sharing with you on a topic: unhealthy emotional attachment. Unhealthy emotional attachment. And you might be asking me, why am I talking about this topic? In recent times, I have noticed that there are so many people who are suffering because of the burden of unhealthy emotional attachments. They have attached emotionally to people, and this has constituted a big and huge problem in their lives. And it is possible that some of the things you might be going through in your life right now might be as a result of unhealthy emotional attachments. You need to check it, you need to figure out what it is, and then you need to untangle yourself from that unhealthy emotional attachments. I'll be showing you what unhealthy emotional attachments are. I'll be showing you the signs, the symptoms, how you know that you are going through them. I will also be showing you the root causes of unhealthy emotional attachments, and I'll be showing you, most importantly, how to break free from this unhealthy emotional attachment. It's going to be a beautiful ride. I'd like you to ride with me as we make this happen. Now, let's start from the very top. What is unhealthy emotional attachment? Unhealthy emotional attachments are excessive emotional bonds that cause you to depend on someone else for your sense of identity, for your worth, for your emotional stability. I take it again. Unhealthy emotional attachments are excessive emotional bonds that cause you to depend on somebody else for your sense of identity, for your worth, and for your emotional stability. Unlike healthy attachments, which are built on mutual trust, which are built on mutual respect, on individuality, unhealthy emotional attachments are often rooted in fear, in insecurity, in trauma, and these types of bonds have a way of draining the energy out of you. They have a way of draining you emotionally. They have a way of leading you to different cycles of dysfunction. They can make you begin to feel what we call anxiety and even emotional manipulation. That is why unhealthy emotional attachments are something that you have to look into. Most times, people who even have this unhealthy emotional attachment do not even know that they are going through something called unhealthy emotional attachment. So today I'll be showing you how these things present themselves in the lives of people and the root causes and how to break free from them. Let's talk about the root causes of unhealthy emotional attachment. Why is it that some people bond with some other people emotionally to their detriment? to their own detriment, in a way that they are self-sabotaging. They are sabotaging their destinies, they are sabotaging their careers, they are sabotaging their business, they are sabotaging the very essence of who they are, simply because they have entangled themselves in what we call unhealthy emotional attachments. There are people in your life who shouldn't even be there in the first place. There are people in your life that you have connected with who you are depending on emotionally, but they are sucking the very life out of you. Today, I'm going to help you to see the different ways through which you may be suffering unhealthy emotional attachments, and how you can break free from this unhealthy emotional attachments. Number one root cause of unhealthy emotional attachment is what we call the fear of abandonment. The fear of abandonment. Let me ask you a very direct question. Have you ever found yourself in a relationship that you know is not right for you? You know that this relationship is draining life out of you. You know that this friendship with this person is taking everything from you, but you don't want to be alone. You are afraid of being rejected. You are afraid of being abandoned. You are afraid of being left out. And because of that, you attach to somebody you should not be attaching to in the first place. People who have been emotionally neglected or emotionally abandoned in the past may form intense attachment to avoid this feeling of being alone. So because of that, they hold on to relationships that are killing them. They hold on to relationships that are making them a worse version of themselves. They hold on to relationships that are draining the very life out of them. And they also know, that this relationship is not good for them, but they stick with it simply because they have what we call unhealthy emotional abandonment that is rooted in the fear of abandonment. So this is something you have to take note of. Number two, root cause of unhealthy emotional attachment is what I call low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. There was this girl, she's in a relationship with a particular guy, but you see, this guy treats her so badly. In fact, it got so bad that both the guy's father and the mother would team up with the guy, and they would treat her so badly. Newsflash, she's not even married yet. But I can't understand for the life of me why she's still in that relationship, why she still goes to the house of this guy to be abused and molested through words by the father and the mother and even the guy himself. It is as a result of low self-esteem. If someone doesn't see themselves as valuable, if someone does not see themselves as people who have high value, they may find themselves latching onto others simply because they want some kind of validation, some kind of affirmation, and some kind of identity. They want to have this feeling of belongingness. They want to be in a place where they are accepted. And they do this at the expense of their own welfare, at the expense of their own joy and happiness. And that is why I say that the second root cause of unhealthy emotional attachment is low self-esteem. Now let's talk about number three. Number three root cause is what I call unhealed trauma. Unhealed trauma. See, we cannot deny the fact that people are going through a lot. We cannot deny the fact that people are suffering many things. We cannot deny the fact that people are going through pains, emotional wounds, especially wounds that have been inflicted on them emotionally while they were children. And this can lead to a clinging kind of behavior in relationships, a clinging kind of behavior that even helps them as a coping mechanism. So you will see somebody who has had life trauma, maybe when they were little, maybe when they were just a child, and because of this, they keep latching on to people even people who don't want them, even people who don't like them, even people who are causing them damage in different ways, whether physically or emotionally. You see them latching onto those people simply because they have what we call unhealed trauma. Now, number four, and the last one I'll be sharing in this category about the root cause of unhealthy emotional attachment is what I call unmet emotional needs. Now, we are all different. And because we are all different, we all have different levels of emotional needs. Now, when emotional voids aren't filled up in healthy ways, what begins to happen is that people begin to over depend on relationships in order to meet those emotional needs. So maybe this person has a lacking figure, or she has a lacking mother figure. Because of that, when they see somebody who supposedly can fit into that mold, they over depend on this person, on this relationship, even at times when this relationship is unhealthy for them, simply because they have this issue of unmet emotional needs. Now, quickly, let's talk about the signs of unhealthy emotional attachments. Let's talk about some of the signs. How do you know that so person or that person is having unhealthy attachments? Number one is that this person has lost their identity. So we can call number one loss of identity. Loss of identity. Now, when somebody has attached to somebody else unhealthily in an emotional way, what happens is that you begin to lose your own sense of self. You begin to lose your own identity because your thoughts and your decisions and your pattern of doing things now revolves around somebody else. So somebody else is now in control. Somebody else is now taking the decisions for you. Somebody else is now the one who is controlling the way you think about a particular matter and what you do in certain situations. So it's important that you discover loss of identity as a sign of unhealthy emotional attachment. You know you used to love sports, but all of a sudden you are wandering in the streets of music, which was not something you used to love, but because somebody you are depending on somebody else who loves music. So you begin to abandon your own original thoughts, you begin to abandon your own original decision making pattern for this new person simply because you have lost your identity. Believe me when I tell you, there are so many people who have lost their identities roving all around the place. You know, some of them you even know them on a very close range. You used to know them for something. You used to appreciate a particular thing they used to do. All of a sudden, they seem to have lost themselves. They are not doing those particular things again. They don't have the flair or the passion or the enthusiasm to continue a particular thing. That is an indication that they have had what we call loss of identity. Number two sign that you are having an unhealthy emotional attachment is that you begin to have what we call emotional dependency. Emotional dependency. Now, at this point, you feel very incomplete or worthless without the person's attention or presence. So, if the other person is not there, the person you are depending on, if the person is not affirming you or being present in what you're doing, you practically feel like you are incomplete, you feel like you are worthless because of the person's absence, which means that your emotion is completely dependent on how this person feels about you or what this person is saying about you. Now, number three sign that you are having unhealthy emotional attachment is jealousy and possessiveness. Now, this is not the good kind of jealousy. In this kind of situation, you are constantly afraid that they would leave your life. You are constantly afraid that they may find somebody better. And because of this, you feel very agitated. When new people begin to come around them, when somebody says hi, when somebody slips into their DM, when somebody sends them a message, when you see them smiling with a friend or a colleague or even a stranger, you begin to get aggressively jealous or very possessive, simply because you have this fear that this person will soon leave you, or that this person will find somebody better. This is another sign of unhealthy emotional attachment. And this is why you really, really have to work on yourself so that you have enough self worth and not feel that way. Number four sign and or symptom of unhealthy emotional attachment is that you begin to ignore red flags. So you are seeing the red flags for real. You are seeing it koro koro, like we say here in Nigeria, and you know that these are red flags. This is an indication that you should stop. That's what red flags do for you. They indicate that you should stop, pause, and check. But no, you are already overwhelmed in love. You can't see their negative parts. You can't see the red flags. In fact, I always say jokingly and humorously that sometimes it is not just a red flag. Sometimes it's actually a red signboard flashing all over your face. But we tend to ignore these red flags, especially if we already have an unhealthy emotional attachment. And even in relationships that lead to marriage, we always cancel. Don't engage in sexual intercourse, because this can actually create for you an unhealthy emotional attachment. So you're not able to see the things that you're supposed to see. You summarize and generalize and stereotype everything. That is not the way to go. All right, so let's talk about number five sign or symptom of unhealthy emotional attachment. Number five is compromising on your values. And this is the one that hurts me the most, because your values are things that you should have formed before anyone comes into your life. Your values are things that you should have molded, they should be sculptures in your heart, molded to keep you firm, to keep you grounded, to keep you steady. But unfortunately, when we begin to have these people in our lives who we are holding on to in an unhealthy way, what happens is that we begin to compromise our own values. So we said we will not smoke, now we are smoking. We said we will not have sex, now we're having sex. We said we will not steal, now we're stealing. We said we will not lie, now we're lying. We said we will not usurp people's stuff, but now you are usurping and coveting everything that belongs to people. It is an indication that something is going wrong in your life. At this point, you begin to go against your beliefs, you begin to go against your boundaries, you begin to go against the goals that you have set in your life, simply because you want to please the other person or avoid conflict entirely. So when you're trying to avoid conflict or trying to please the other person, you see yourself compromising on your own value system, compromising on your own standards, and that can be a huge problem in a relationship. So I want to advise you and counsel you, before you get involved in a particular kind of friendship, in a particular kind of relationship with anyone, be sure, check yourself with these signs and symptoms. Check yourself and be very sure that you are not and be very sure that you are not the one that is abusing yourself. Be very sure that you are not the one that is putting yourself in a hard place, in a difficult place. Be sure that you're not the one sabotaging your happiness, sabotaging your freedom, sabotaging your future, and then blaming it all on the devil. So there are friendships you should not engage in. There are relationships you should step away from. Why? Simply because you discovered that you are already forming an unhealthy emotional attachment. Believe me when I tell you, not all relationships are good for you, especially the one that hurts me the most, when you begin to compromise on your values simply because you want to make another person comfortable. That is a very wrong move to make. That is a very wrong way to live. Do not compromise your values. Never compromise on your beliefs. Whatever you have believed, hold on to it. Because in this world of sinking sands, in this world that is full of shakings, a lot of things are going wrong. It is your values, it is your beliefs that will keep you grounded, that will keep you balanced in a way that you are able to make firm decisions and quality decisions concerning your life. All right, let's talk about how do I now break free from this unhealthy emotional attachment. So I'm going to be sharing with you how to break free and find healing from unhealthy emotional attachment. How to break free and find healing from unhealthy emotional attachments. Number one that you have to do is that you have to acknowledge the attachment. See, if you keep lying to yourself, listen, if you keep lying to yourself and telling yourself that, oh, I'm not attached to anybody, oh, I'm fine, no, it's just a misconception and stuff like that, believe me that you will never be free from this attachment we are talking about. But if you truly want to break free from this attachment, you have to first and foremost acknowledge the fact that there is an attachment in your life and that attachment is not healthy. This attachment could be to your father, it could be to your mother, it could be to your siblings, it could be to your spouse, it could be to your friends, it could even be to strangers and enemies alike. So you have to acknowledge the attachment. Be honest about it, be honest about the emotional hold that somebody else has on you. There are people that if somebody in particular does not tell you well done, does not tell you I'm proud of you, does not tell you you are doing good, you feel like every single thing you have done is worthless. But listen to me, I know while it may be very encouraging for somebody to tell you well done, for somebody to tell you that you're doing good, it is most important that you are also able to tell yourself, I am doing good, I am a champ, I am wonderful, I am excelling at what I do. This is so important because awareness is the first step to freedom. You need to be aware that there is an emotional attachment in your life that is absolutely not okay or healthy for you. Now let's talk about number 2 way for you to break away and find healing from unhealthy emotional attachment is that you have to start by setting healthy boundaries. You see, when you begin to experience what we call unhealthy emotional attachment, at that point your boundaries are loose. At that point your boundaries are no longer solid, and because of that it makes it very easy for anybody to step into your life and ruin it simply because you don't have healthy boundaries. Learn to say no. Can you practice it with me? Say no. It's you. Yes, I'm talking to you now. Say no. N-O, no. And let me tell you, no is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. You don't need to add anything else to no. When somebody says no, it is no. When you say no, it is no. Say no to the things that destroy your value system. Say no to the things that destroy your principles. Say no to the things that destroy your belief. Say no to the things that are not okay for you emotionally. Say no to the things that you know that are sin against God. Say no to the things that you know that has ability to destroy a glorious future in your life. Say no to the things that you know that will not give you that first class you want in the university, that will make you to become an academic failure. Say no to that guy that is coming to ruin your life. Say no to that lady who is just like Delilah trying to destroy you. Say no to the things that you do not want to see in your life. The secret is to learn to say no. So learn to say no and take some time for yourself. Most importantly, protect your emotional space. And you need to do this by setting certain boundaries. If you are not careful, there are people, even when you are a married woman, there are people that will still be coming for you, and just ask yourself a simple question. If a guy knows I am married and he is trying to check me out or get me involved in a situationship, that person does not love you in the first place, because this person already has the mindset of a cheater or a cheat. This person just wants to make sure that you ruin the marriage that you currently have. That should tell you that this person is not a good person. This person is a cunning person, and this person does not mean well for you. See, creating healthy boundaries save you from trouble. They save you from abuse. They save you from lack of focus, and they also save you from lack of discipline. It's so important that you work on these areas of your life. Number three way through which you can break free and heal from unhealthy emotional attachment is by rebuilding your identity in Christ. Yes, rebuild your identity in Christ. Who are you in Christ? This is a question you have to answer, especially if you're a believer. Who are you in Christ? So, who you are in Christ will most likely cancel out the opinion of other people against you. Who you are in Christ will cancel out the mockery of your enemies. Who you are in Christ will cancel out the evil projections of enemies against your life. So it's important and very imperative that you rebuild your identity in Christ. And who does God say you are? He says you are the apple of his eyes. He says that he has engraved your name on the palm of his hand. He said he has loved you with an everlasting love. Your worth is not defined by who stays in your life or who lives your life. Let me say this again. Your worth in life is not defined by who stays in your life or who lives your life, but your worth in life is defined by what God says that you are, by who God says that you are. And I want you to know that God sees you as a royal priesthood, a peculiar nation, a wonderful priesthood, and he has called you out of darkness into his glorious light. I want to tell you that God, the way he sees you as his chosen generation. He sees you as somebody who he has loved with an everlasting love. God sees you as complete in him. You don't need anything else to become who you are meant to be. You don't need anything extra to become what you are supposed to be, because he has seen the future ahead of you. He has seen who you are going to be, and he has named you like that name. You see, Gideon was in the wine press, and he was threshing wheat. The wine press is not a place for threshing wheat, but Gideon found himself there because he was afraid of the Amalekites. He was afraid of the enemies coming for him, and he was there in the midst of his hiding, in the midst of his fear, in the midst of his uncertainty. The angel of the Lord met him right there and brought a word that defined who he truly was, and said, "Hey, mighty man of valor." That was who Gideon really was. Irrespective of what he was going through, irrespective of his pain, irrespective of his challenge, God knew he was a mighty man of valor, and the angel named him in the same way. So seek and rebuild your identity in Christ. That is what matters the most. So number 4 way through which you can break free and heal from unhealthy emotional attachment is what I call, you have to seek healing and counseling. Healing and counseling does not come automatically. Or over time, it will not just appear into your life. Especially if trauma is involved, you actually need professional or even pastoral counseling to help you unpack deep-rooted patterns, to help you unpack deep-rooted problems, to help you unpack and clarify whatever it is that is affecting you and affecting your spirit and affecting your future and affecting your plans. Because unhealthy emotional attachments can lead to terrible things, because eventually somewhere along the line you'll find yourself bitter, you'll find yourself sad over what somebody has done to you. And this is important that you heal, so that you don't bleed on other people who did not hurt you. Let me say this again. It's important that you heal, so that you don't bleed on other people who are important to you, who love you, who care for you. Because if you refuse to heal, you'll just be walking around with a bleeding heart, and you bleed on anybody. You transfer the bitterness and the lack of joy to other people, simply because you can't find anything as such inside you. And the final point I'd like to drop with you today is that you have to surround yourself with a very healthy community. We're talking about unhealthy emotional attachments. If you now want to break free and heal from it, you have to surround yourself with very healthy community, healthy friends, healthy relations. Godly friendships and mentors can help you to grow in emotional strength and resilience. godly friends, godly mentors. Whether it is a relationship you are building, you need mentors, you need professionals that can help you to grow emotionally so that you can have the emotional strength to withstand the storms that come in life. The truth of the matter is this: both the house that was built on the rock and the house that was built on the sand experienced the storm, they experienced the rain. So it doesn't matter if you are building on the rock, the rains will come, the storms will come, but what determines how strong you are standing is where you are building. This is why it's important for you to make sure that you have healthy relationships and not unhealthy emotional attachments. The truth of the matter is this: unhealthy emotional attachments can be very powerful, especially when they are intoxicating, and most times they will lead to pain, they will lead to heartache, they will lead to confusion, they will lead to spiritual stagnation, they may even lead to sin in certain occasions. But letting go and untangling yourself from that relationship doesn't mean that you don't care for the person anymore. It does not mean that you don't love the person anymore. It simply means that you stopped allowing fear to control you. You told yourself that you are bigger than this situation, you are bigger than the things that you are experiencing. And as you begin to release those bonds, those bondages from your life, you begin to see yourself that you begin to grow more and become very rooted in God's love. You will discover peace, you will discover wholeness, you will discover freedom, and most importantly, you will discover the health to the strength to build healthy relationships in your life and around your sphere, So this is why it's so imperative that you work on your emotional life and your emotional health. So please, and please, I've been able to share with you what unhealthy emotional attachment is. I told you what the root causes of emotional attachment are. I also shared with you the signs and symptoms of unhealthy emotional attachment. And finally, I showed you how to break free and heal from emotional attachment. You can do this. There are many of you who have friends you shouldn't have. There are many of you, those friends are dragging you down right now. There are many of you who are in a relationship that you should not have any business being in. There are many of you, you are liking an older man or older woman that you have no business liking. Please untangle yourself from that place. Detach yourself from that emotional unhealthy attachment and be free and experience freedom and heal and become who you were meant to be in the first place. I hope you were thoroughly inspired and blessed by this episode. Please, if you joined us very late, do well to go back to the very beginning of the video and watch till this very end. I am seriously rooting for you, and I know that you're going to conquer this unhealthy emotional attachment so that the full version of you can emerge. I am seriously rooting for you, and until I come your way again, keep making a positive, indelible mark in the lives of people and on the sands of time. I love you so very much. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, I hope you were blessed by that message. All right, so I want you to just go ahead and support us. If you are led, go ahead and just sow into the account right on the screen. And I know that as you do that, God will bless you big time. Because of the seeds you are sowing, you will be able to reach a wider audience on different platforms. So please do well to sow that seed, and God will bless you. Love you.